Hi everyone, this is Be Divine, Voice of the Flame, and after 35 plus years of working with traditional spirituality, I've stepped into a new era of flame sovereignty. And this is teaching you how to open up prophecy within yourself, how to switch and change timelines as needed, how to activate the grid of the earth, how to work with animals, guardians, and also how to bring through extra codes within you that will draw towards you the golden timeline, the life that you want. As you are listening to my voice and these transmissions that are already happening right now, things are going to shift inside of you. Some of you will feel like pulling away, that you're not ready for this yet, and I understand that. And others will feel a drawing towards something that they know deep down within them that is now beginning to awaken. As you go through your journey, and this is coming from a person with a lot of experience, as you go through your journey, okay, you will find yourself wavering a lot backwards and forwards. I call this looping. Now, as someone who is a spiritual therapist, guide, okay, I am very intuitive, psychic, whatever you want to call it. I am someone who can listen to where you are at and where you obviously want to be and show you the bridge that gets you from A to B. In between, there are going to be moments where people are trying to drag you off of that bridge, if you want to think about it that way. Through this business of stepping into flame sovereignty, which is stepping into the essence of all that is, something that is within you, like for example, people talk about God or source, and the energy here is that connection that's already inside. So if you want to think about it in any sort of a way, you could think about a connection with source inside of your being, so that you've got a constant line of communication that never left you. It was filtered out of you, but it never left you, and we can wake this up again. So as you're going on your journey, okay, people won't like it if you do not follow exactly what they would have envisioned for you, whether it's your family or your friends or even your clients. People expect you to do things in a certain way, to always be there, to always have the same sort of emotional response as you're moving along. And when you start to shift and change, you actually start to strengthen into that energy of who you really are trying to be, which is the most magnificent version of yourself, where everything comes easily to you, where you are confident and strong and healthy, where no one can really tell how old you are because you go backwards and backwards and backwards. You change all of the time, where you're in your highest timeline, your most vibrant timeline, where all of these things are happening already. In order to step into that, you have to resist all of those temptations to loop backwards into those old patterns. And you have to ask yourself, am I afraid of the future because I need someone to validate what's going to happen? If so, you may be someone who suffered from low self-esteem or a lot of anxiety in your life, and stepping forward is into unknown territory in your eyes is very, very scary. You like to be in control of where you are. Or maybe you're someone who wants to move forward but is afraid how you're going to explain this to other people. Believe me, I know, after 35 plus years of doing tarot readings and healings and all this kind of things, you get called all kinds of names, and people do not understand that you are literally trying to help people to change their lives. So, not knowing exactly what you're going to call yourself, other than whatever it is that you do, you might not even do things that are spiritual, whatever, but feeling like you don't know how people are going to respond to the new you is also a fear-based reality that's going to stop it from coming into your life really quickly. The bottom line is you really need to stop focusing on what anyone or anything or what any trend is doing, and instead do things that you know are enlivening, that are making you feel peaceful, that are bringing happiness into your pathway, that are uplifting your vibration, that's not backbiting and talking about people and being rude or being nasty. It's not doing anything to intentionally hurt anybody. And if you can stay on this pathway of thriving, okay, instead of just surviving, right? If you can stay on that pathway, then it does not really matter what is thrown at you, as long as you can come back to the front of where you're going. In spirituality, so many tools are there. So if I was here right now, how you guys have known me since 2009, and I was here shuffling my cards and whatever, people would be listening because they hold value in what a card says. Okay? How about holding value in what your soul says, who you are as a soul? Because the cards, divination and tarot, really haven't been around that long. I mean, since the 1400s, there were things that were written in scrolls, etc. in time. But really bones and throwing crystals are some of the oldest things that we... In fact, in China, they threw bones that were etched in words, and then they burnt those to see which ones would crack. And those would be the ones that they would pay attention to. And that's just something that they created. Also with stick divination as well, where they would have all these different yarrow sticks, and they would be all different varying sizes, etc., so that they could throw those sticks and interpret people's fortunes. So people have a thing of having to see something in order to believe it. And this is the problem with spirituality as well. You're like, well, where's my guides, and where's my loved ones, and where's my ancestors, and where's my money, and where's my business idea, and I'm grieving and it's not fair, and I've had so much loss, and I've had this and that, so how's this supposed to be on the pathway for me? Like, how's this supposed to be a good thing? People are always complaining, unfortunately, in this work, and even on their journey. You know, personally knowing people that complain all the time looking for sympathy because there's something missing within their life where they didn't get enough attention, perhaps as a child, so they're continually looking for attention, even if it means destroying their physical being. This happens all of the time. If someone believes in something, they will listen to that no matter what you say or what you do, unless there's proof of otherwise. As we move forward on our journey, you actually become the living proof of what you're talking about. You actually become the living proof if you're doing things in the right way. If you're always looking for validation through the means of somebody else, or through cards, or through specifically tarot cards, etc., and you know, you're always looking for an answer there, but you're not actually listening to what the reader or the mentor or whatever is teaching you, you're just going to keep being dependent. It's just another form of anxiety. And this is why I had to kind of pull away from it. After 35 years of doing tarot readings, creating my own oracle deck, working with this, trying to help people who are in need, I figured out that most people just don't do the work. And even when they're looking at cards, they feel gratified or satisfied in seeing it in the cards. But even then, they can go away and they can just make a completely different life change, or life's, you know, they could just decide, oh, well, you know, I'm not going to bother buying a lottery ticket, and that could have been the winning one, or whatever it is. They could leave their partners when their partners haven't done anything wrong, because of some of the fickle people on different platforms that would give that kind of advice, which is no advice at all. It's actually prying into someone's life when you have no right to do so. So as you're moving on your journey, think about where it is that you are now, where you want to be, and how are you bridging that gap and drawing your future self towards you, into your being. And as a timeline seer, this is exactly how I can also help you, pointing things out. Walk in the light.